Yeah. Hello, everybody. It's me, Darcy, and him, Smugface.
Hey!
Smugface McGee. Also known as Kris.
Yep.
Also known as I'm not gonna say it.
Aww. I wanted to hear that one.
There was a lot of anger in there. Yeah, I was fuming. Here's a question. Have you ever read the descriptions that I put on the videos?
No, because it doesn't show up on my TV.
Right. Every single time I call you something different. Generally sarcastically.
Oh, I mean, I've seen them at the end of the podcast.
No. I mean, I will show you, because literally everything is like, hey guys, join me, Darcy, and then something, Kris.
Okay.
Something. That's Kris.
No, because I watch it all pretty much on my TV. I don't get descriptions. I just get the title and the picture.
The description. So, like, literally one of the descriptions for the podcast was Smugface. But like, there are so many. Like, if we're playing Hitman, it's like our professional killer, Kris. So it's just the snarky little thing I like to do. Put you in your place.
Okay, I'll have to start reading some of these. I'll get it on my phone.
Nice, good. Yes. Sorry about that. Kris just had to know that I am constantly snarky towards him. Welcome once again to the Unnamed Podcast. The podcast where we sit here, roughly, talk about rubbish for some time.
Yes.
As always, we'll start with some channel news.
Okay, what's
chair is squeaking so much.
Whose?
Mine. That's technically channel news.
It is, yeah. Mine's not too bad.
Yeah, it's about the channel.
It is. It's in the video. It's like half the time it happens. In any other video, I'm sitting there and I'm like, because I'm moving at the same time, like, is that this chair or that one? I don't know.
It kind of depends. Like, every now and then I have to retighten this chair just to keep the squeaks away.
Yeah, okay.
Mainly because I often fall asleep in this chair.
Whereas this one's only really getting used once or twice a week.
Yeah.
There's Charlie's in it, but that's not enough to do anything.
Dude, I just like put this in full, put it in back, put my feet up, and it's like a bed.
Fair.
However, that puts some strain on the bolts.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Well, other than our squeaky chair, channel news. Well, Kris, this week we had what came out this week? Call of Duty dropped today.
Okay, I haven't actually used YouTube this week, so I can't even remember.
Okay, well, Call of Duty dropped today, and so that's... I hate when that happens. That's the one... Oh, fuck, what is it? That's the one where we... I just dropped my phone. It can stay down there. That's the one where we were doing the thing.
Oh.
We were just messing around, and you lost your gun privilege.
Oh yeah, that.
Yes, because you can't be trusted. What
came out on Monday?
Cloudberry Part Dos dropped. So yeah, it was getting a bit harder in that one.
It was, yes. We still got a fair way. So.
We did, but it's one of those percentage type things, right? Because if you look at the first part, we did like 70 levels.
I thought we did more. Oh no, yeah, right.
And then if you look at the second part, we did like 40 levels. So we've almost had a 50% drop off rate.
Almost,
which means the next video...
Oh yeah, that's a good point. We're not going to get through a lot.
And then the video after that, and then we end up in a Bunnyman situation where it takes several episodes to get through one level.
Especially when we get to, what is it called? Masochist?
Yes.
Was the last one called? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I think that one, it's just going to be very much like Bunnyman.
It's called Masochist.
For a reason, yes. I'm aware.
What else is going on? I did some editing.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Yay!
I also went through and like wrote out a list of games that I've been meaning to play with Kris, and that every time I'm like, oh, I've got to play this game with Kris, and Kris comes around to play the games, and I just forget them.
Like the other day like last week.
No, I was just in
when you mentioned like, 2 of the 3 on the podcast, but forgot the other.
Yes.
Never Jeez, words. Okay, never remembered it.
No. What else has been going on? Not a great deal. I've
Still at 21?
Yes, we are. I've also looked into the Patreon again.
Did you get a step further?
No, I typed in Patreon into Google and it popped up and I went...
There it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sounds about right, yeah.
And then I went, nah.
Yeah.
And I closed it down. And then I burnt my computer. And then I buried it.
Then he rebuilt it entirely.
Yes.
To look exactly the same. So I would never know, but now I know.
Exactly. Well, let's spend all of Chris's money on it too.
I didn't have any.
That's why I spent all of it.
Yes.
No. But as I said, I've acknowledged the Patreon side of it, and that I have to do it. It's just every time I get close to doing it, I just go, nah.
I know the feeling. I do.
And then I was gonna do so much yesterday, because technically yesterday was my first day back at work properly.
Yes. And
I got home and I was just like, nah, I'm gonna go to sleep. And so I popped my chair down and had a snooze down here.
Honestly, that's, as I said earlier, this seems like the week for it.
Dude, I was just
Everyone
like,
is just screwed this
don't
week.
want to do this. And so I was just like, I was sitting there, I had stuff going on my computer, and I just lay there, and I'm like, I was like sitting there, I was at the stage where you're kind of like, what do I do? And I went, I know, I'll make a deal with myself.
Yeah.
I can have a half-hour power nap.
That turned into like 2 hours?
It turned into an hour and a half, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I came back, and I got to business.
Okay.
And I made the thumbnail for today's video.
Okay, solid. You did something.
Yeah. Champion. Yeah, no, that was kind of pretty much everything that's been going on.
Okay.
I have decided to be more organized.
Okay. Yes.
So I have a book now.
I did see that, and
I have a book, and in this book I write things like game ideas and games that I have to
I didn't see that page, but yes.
That's one. It's one page. One side's the front, and one side's the back.
No, well, yeah, okay, fair enough. I did. No, because
So
in
you
the book
did see
that's
that
page
page.
1, page 2.
Yeah, but page 1 and page 2 are the same page.
True, they are. Yes.
Steep man. No, so yeah, that's kind of where all the channel stuff is. You know, we are so excited. We've broken the 20 mark. It felt like we were there forever, like forever.
We were there for a while.
We were there, and so now we get to be forever at 21.
Yeah,
but that's fine because we can drink now.
Anywhere. Yep.
Anywhere legally, you can't stop us.
No.
Don't even try it. I can't remember what else I was going to talk about the channel news, so I think we're done in terms of channel news.
Unless you think of it later.
Unless I think of it later. That's probably not going to happen. I have my motto, if it's not important, I won't remember it. And if it is important, I'll probably remember it later.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work for me.
No.
And that's how I missed an exam. It's okay, it was one of those exams where I just had to rock up on one of the 2 days. And I was like, I'm going to rock up on the first day and get it done with. And then the first day happened, I went, and then I got a message from one of my friends. They're like, I thought you'd come into the thing today. And I went,
oh, damn.
fuck.
I'm going to make it tomorrow.
Ah, I see. I did that thing. I did forget the important thing. Right.
Yes.
But that's never changed my motto, so why would I change it now?
I mean, it's probably a good idea.
No.
But...
Stick to your guns. If I've learned anything from Stalin, it's stick to your guns.
Okay.
Also, you shouldn't something farming. I can't remember. Communalize farming.
Okay.
It's a hard word to talk about when you're talking about communism because it's communal farms, not communistic farms.
Okay.
But you should not use communal farms. It's far better to have people who know about farming doing your farming.
Yes.
Because then you don't have a famine.
Also
and
true.
5 million Ukrainians don't die.
Yeah.
So,
Gotta be smart.
2 things we learned from Stalin.
Yes.
Stick to your guns, don't use communal farms.
Yep.
What else is going on? Well, I have a topic I want to talk about with Kris. I do.
Okay,
It's in my brain. It's there. I've remembered it. It's sitting in the back. It's whirling away. But before we get onto that, I kind of want to talk to you about something I've been doing this past week.
Okay.
Bit longer. And that is, I bought myself a couple new Nerf guns.
Okay.
For reasons. Are you a Nerf man, Kris? Were you a Nerfy boy? Did
I
you
never
Nerf it up?
really owned any, but I have used them at like mates' places and that. Yeah, I had fun with them.
Well, I spent, and I didn't have to, because I could have gone to the store and bought a Nerf gun. They're very popular.
Yes.
But I spent several hours on the internet
Okay.
and about $100 to buy 2 Nerf guns.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised about several hours on the internet, but yes.
The $100, yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit different.
It is because I wanted to find an old school crossbolt
Okay.
and an old school strong arm.
Okay.
And the amount of time it took me to find them, and the fact that Nerf no longer have anything in that kind of product range anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like they don't make the super easily, because if you guys know anything about modifying Nerf guns, the strong arm is the most modifiable Nerf gun.
Okay.
So many people have modified it. And the cross bolt is literally one of the best and easiest Nerf guns to modify, because the last one I owned, which unfortunately I lost. When I say I lost, I left Sydney and was like, I will come back and get that in summer. And then I came back in summer and it was gone.
Oh.
And I was just like, oh, that's a kick in the teeth.
It is.
Because it was a very desirable Nerf blaster.
Yeah.
Because of how easy it is to modify. We literally undid 2 screws, pulled the string tighter by 2.5 centimeters each side.
Yep.
Put the screws back in, and took it to about a 50 meter shot range. 30 meters, we could still leave a mark.
Yes.
So, super easy to modify, super good. Does have a larger package than a lot of the other Nerf guns. Like, there's no getting around that. It has 2 arms that sit off the side of it. Yeah. But such a good gun.
Yes.
And so desirable. But Nerf don't have anything like it anymore.
Maybe because of that reason.
Well, see, that's kind of what I was thinking about. The nanny state. You know, it's the nanny state. We live in a nanny state where we can't have fun things because they're dangerous and you'll shoot someone's eye out. And don't put pins in the end of your Nerf darts because that's just not cricket. It's fine, okay? We almost shot someone in the eye that one time. But other than that...
It was fine.
It was fine. We only did property damage.
Yes.
I was just wondering, like, you know, is it just me or has Nerf gone soft? Have they taken away the fun blasters of my youth?
Of course they have.
Yeah, man. I'm just looking at them and I go like, they're soft, man. They're soft. And they're all going to, well, not all of them, but a lot of the pump action stuff, the plunger and the spring powered shit is going away. And I don't like that. Because the rotors are the hardest to modify. Because you've got to replace the actual spinning parts in there.
Yeah.
You can't just pull it apart, put a new spring in, close it back up and be like, I give you the penetrator. Yeah, it kind of sucks. So a lot of them go into that.
Why do I feel like you're getting these and you're going to walk away briefly during the podcast, come back and shoot me in the back of the head?
I would never do that. I'm going to shoot you in the face.
Yeah, true, yes.
Can't hit your eyes if I shoot you in the back of the head.
I mean, true. But then I also feel like you're going to take them on the trip and then we're just going to shoot Jordan with them.
Probably not.
Okay.
There's a lot of packing in moving Nerf guns around.
True.
And they don't really fit cleanly into the side of things. No. But, like... Yeah. But yeah, no, like, so the spinny ones, like, I've seen people modify them, but they're a lot of a hassle to modify.
I imagine they would be.
And so, in the end of the day, I'm just like, I know that they don't really want us modifying Nerf guns anymore, because it's dangerous, yo.
Shut up.
But at the same time, at the same time, I want my mechanical Nerf guns. I want the good ones. Why? And remember, the Elite series were set in... They lasted a good long set of time before they moved on to the next series. Yeah. And they went the Elite series and the Zombie series, and then the Zombie series disappeared, but the Elite series was still there, and then...
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was just we've got these new ones. And everything I've read about the new ones is that they suck.
Sweet.
And I'm just wow. So I spent several hours trying to find old school ones that were in good condition.
Okay, yep.
So that I could restock my Nerf guns, get one of the best Nerf blasters of all time, and have have just some decent Nerf guns.
Yeah.
Because I was just what happened to Nerf? Why did they go... Why did they go so crappy all of a sudden?
Fuck, who knows?
And then, I was just kind of I think what Nerf needs to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
From a purely business point of view, so they can make monster money, is have Nerf kids and Nerf adults.
Yeah.
And the Nerf adults ones should just be oh, you want this one? Yeah, it's got a 20 kilo spring in it. And you go how far does it shoot? Oh yeah, it'll take out someone at 200 meters. Nice.
Yes, that's what we want.
Because yeah. And then
use...
your little Nerf kid ones can be the ones they're making now. And just
yeah.
Hey, stand within 10 meters so I can hit you.
Yeah.
It's here, come stand within 10 meters of my Nerf adult. Boom! Yeah, that's right. That kid used to be in those shoes.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's I know Nerf makes money off the kids, obviously. But I also feel they make more money off the kids with the accessories, the Nerf vest and the Nerf goggles.
Yes.
And all the Nerf branded paraphernalia that you get with your first Nerf blaster.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the adults, that's where the real money's at, because I'll be I just bought 6 Nerf blasters, I'm going to modify them all.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing, because there is a market for adults.
Oh, absolutely. I would say that from my life experience, which isn't great, I don't know many children.
That's fair.
Or people with children who are buying their children Nerf guns. But, from my experience,
yes,
college-aged men buy way more Nerf guns than anyone else. Because we would literally go there probably once every 2 months, and at least 3 of people were getting new Nerf guns. Okay. Generally, because someone had modified their Nerf gun and put a 10 kilo spring, and then if you read the forums, it was do not put anything more than a 6 kilo spring in this. The plastic cannot withstand it. And they're this is so awesome, and they're shooting and shooting and shooting, and then after 2 weeks of use, it's just I need a new Nerf gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
yeah, that is pretty good.
But yeah, so I was just yeah. I just want Nerf to be cool again.
And at least if they
I want what I really want them to do. So they came out with Halo Nerf blasters when Halo Infinite came out.
Okay.
They look pretty sick. Don't get me wrong. They had a needler, the classic assault rifle, and the shotgun.
Yep.
I think they also might have done the handgun, but I wasn't interested in that because it was, while it looked like the handgun, it wasn't really good.
Okay.
Whereas the assault rifle, yeah, it was a magazine fed fucking Halo assault rifle.
Yep.
You'd buy that just to be this is my Halo assault rifle. Look at this. Yes, it has magazine loading action.
Yes.
And the needler, I'm pretty sure looked pretty good as well. Not as good as the needler models where they've actually got the pink crystals and oh fuck, those things look sweet. But
nice.
And the shotgun, the shotgun also looked pretty cool. But
okay.
I really hate the Star Wars Nerf guns.
Yeah.
They don't look good.
I don't imagine they would.
And they don't feel great.
Yeah.
I really, really hate the Fortnite Nerf guns.
Yeah.
Because
Is it part because you don't like Fortnite?
Yes,
That'd
but
be part
also
of the reason
because
I
it's
like
like the Fortnite guns are like cartoonified real world guns. So the Fortnite blasters look like cartoonified real guns. Like I can look at the Fortnite blaster and say that's supposed to be this gun. That's supposed to be this gun. That's supposed to be this gun. I play a lot of Call of Duty.
Well, yeah.
And then when you look at them in their cartoon form, you're like, oh, I'd almost want that if it looked better.
Yeah.
Like, examples, the Fortnite AUG. The AUG is one of my favourite guns.
Yeah.
Because it just looks fucking weird. And is the preferred weapon of the Australian military.
Okay. Yep.
And the Fortnite one, I'm like, that almost looks cool.
Almost.
The Fortnite Scar almost looks cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Your favourite SMG from Call of Duty, the Fortnite version, almost looks cool.
I like how this is almost with all of them.
The other problem is that because it's Fortnite branded, you just know they're going to be underpowered and crappy because they're not selling it to be a Nerf blaster. They're selling it because it's to hit those kids that love Fortnite. Oh, this is the gun I use in Fortnite. Oh, now I've got a Nerf blaster. Yeah. So you know it's
and
just
they're
not
go
going to
around
be
to their
the
mate's
best
place
quality.
and let's play Fortnite in real life. It's like, no, fuck off. No.
I'm going to go to their mate's place and say, let's play Fortnite in real life. And then I'm going to have to go and hit them with a baseball bat. I don't have time to hit
one.
them.
Not a Nerf one. They're too damn soft.
I have time to go around and hit every kid I see with a baseball bat. That would be life-consuming.
It would be.
Hey,
For two reasons.
Is that a Fortnite Nerf gun? Yes. Just stay there. I need to get something out of my car.
Well, okay. But I would say there's two reasons that would be life consuming. One is there's way too many to go around to. Two, it's probably not going to be long before you get locked up.
Nah, because I
For
just...
hitting kids with a baseball bat.
No, it's fine, because the judge will be like, why'd you hit the kids with a baseball bat? Judgy, they had Nerf guns from Fortnite. So do you need help? Yes!
Please. Here's the bat, let's go.
So you have to bring your own bat. This is mine.
Okay, fair. I imagine you have a couple extras
But,
just in case they start to break.
No, I'm going to get a wooden one.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So, like, when I see a Nerf blaster and it's, like, branded, like, as I said, I know the Halo ones aren't going to be that great.
No.
But they look good. Because they look... Like, literally people went to the Halo guns to see what the guns were going to look like in Halo Infinite. Because they're modelled to look exactly like they do in the game. Yeah. And so they, like, it looks like a Halo gun. But it looks realistically like a Halo gun.
Okay.
As opposed to looking kind of cool. The Fortnite Nerf guns, right? Yes. The only way I can describe it is if you were to show a picture of an actual real gun to a kid and say, draw this. And the kid draws it in those weird, misshapen way that kids draw. And then you say, now I shall turn this into a weapon.
True. Yes.
I can show you. I'm going to show him. I'm going to show him, everybody. Chris, rap to the camera.
Rap to the camera?
Or just talk to the camera, Chris. Give us your thoughts on the Nerf epidemic. Or the Nerf non-endemic. The fact that no good Nerf guns exist anymore.
Well, I don't have too much of an issue with it because I don't spend money on it. I don't have the money to spend on it. But I do know a lot of people, like one of my Bryce in school, he was big into Nerf guns.
Okay,
like
so this is one of the Nerf guns, right?
Okay.
It's a Nerf Dungeons and Dragons gun.
Okay.
It looks like a Why?
Well, that is not what... That's... Okay. I don't like that one.
That's not a Nerf gun. That's just Japanese.
Yes, it is. Yes, indeed it is.
That's a Nerf Fortnite gun.
I don't like it.
See how it's almost cool?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost that real gun, but then it's just a little bit too cartoony.
Which is why I don't
That's
like
one of the new ones. It doesn't look bad. It's just not...
Okay, yeah.
They're just not that great anymore. That's an old one.
You gonna put any of these up on the screen?
Maybe. That's an old one.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones that shoots balls.
Okay, yep. Again, if it's got enough power behind it, it's gonna be more fun. And I feel like if they had enough power behind them, I might buy them.
That's a Star Wars one.
Noticeable, yes.
That's the one of the ones I bought.
Okay.
Except I didn't buy it on the Amazon Prime Day sales, so it cost me twice that.
Ah.
Fuck Amazon.
Oh wait, there's sales now, isn't there?
Yes, there is. That's another
Oh, what?
Nerf.
Oh, I also bought something outside of the sales. God
Nerf.
damn it.
Fortnite gun. You can see it, can't you? You're starting to see it.
Yeah, no, of course you can.
I might put some of these up. I'll put some of the Nerf Fortnite ones.
What the
Another
fuck
Dungeons
is
and
that?
Dragons one.
No.
Another Dungeons and Dragons
What
one.
are they doing with this?
They're just taking dragons' heads and making them into guns.
That doesn't make it Dungeons and Dragons.
Also, doesn't make it cool.
No, no, it doesn't.
Like, look how good that looks. It's a clean blaster.
Like, don't get me wrong, you can use like a dragon's head look to make a gun look cool, but they are not succeeding.
There's another Fortnite one. Almost cool.
Yeah,
It's that almost cool. As I said, like that, the Nerf Ultra series does look pretty nice.
Yeah,
but they use a different dart, if I'm not mistaken.
like if they wanted to use dragons to make it look cool, don't make it the barrel.
Another Nerf, right?
Yeah.
Are you doing this like embellishing, like having dragon carvings on the side of the gun?
Yes.
Chris, that's crazy talk.
Yeah, but it's
Oh, here's a good one. It's Nerf Roblox.
why?
I don't know.
Why?
Is Roblox known for its shooting?
I don't actually know much.
That's just
about
fucking
Roblox.
Batman.
It's like I know a lot of people, like a lot of kids play Roblox.
Nerf
Again,
Fortnite. Again, almost cool.
it's just a flare gun.
Yeah, I know. Flare guns would be awesome, except
Yes.
it's that cartooniness that's just...
Then we got the Minecraft hammer.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. As someone who hasn't played Minecraft in a while, I'll admit it. We are looking at playing it for the channel. Does the hammer now shoot stuff? Does they have hammers?
Oh,
That's a better question. Does Minecraft now have hammers?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. We're gonna have to look that one up. Having said that, their Thor one that they put out a while back, so Mjolnir.
No. Dino Squad.
Yeah.
Why?
But there was a Mjolnir one,
Yes. Tell us
and
about this
it
one.
would shoot out of the top of it.
Okay, kind of like the current one. The
Holy
Minecraft.
shit, that had some power to it.
Okay, well, there you go.
Like that is one thing that I got hit in the back of the head with it. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck was that? And then I got
Pure
shown. I'm like, what the?
Now, Fortnite. Almost.
Like, from the Mjolnir one, like when I had it and aimed it at my nephew, he literally had to flinch and sort of get behind his head behind his arm because it would actually hurt.
A good Nerf gun.
That one does look pretty good. The one under it though, no. Again,
That's
stop.
the Dungeon Dragons.
Stop.
That the one that I just showed, Chris, is the hammer shot. Oh, that one's fun to modify, especially if you've got two of them. Although if you overdo it, you can't just roll your thumb. Yeah, the spring power's too much for your thumb.
Okay, fair enough.
But my friend had one of those. They are such fun. Such a fun.
Look,
Such a fun
there's
gun.
a lot of ones that do not look good. Well, there's a Halo one.
That is the Halo Needler.
$214.
Yeah, but look how good it looks.
Yeah, I can see that, but holy shit.
It's because it's a fucking collector's item.
Well, yes, it is.
Unlike any of the Fortnite Nerf blasters.
All the Dungeons and Dragons ones, like, they don't even look good.
I'm going to throw them in the rubbish. Look, okay, but you think that
No,
one's...
you're not going to throw them in the rubbish because you're not even going to buy one.
True. I will buy them just to throw them in the rubbish. You said the
It's
Halo
an
one's
unboxing.
bad. That's 197 for a Nerf Elite Rampage.
Okay.
I had one of those.
Oh, no.
I had one of those.
Damn.
And you know what annoys me the most about having one of those?
What?
I can guarantee you that about $60 of that price is just for its drum mag. Because
Oh.
they're about $60. I had one of those.
Oh, no.
Emphasis on had.
Yeah, I know. I've paid attention to the fact that you keep emphasizing had
Oh, it's so upsetting when you had something that you're like,
every time.
everyone wants to get their hands on. They're not great magazines, but
Yeah.
the 50 Nut Dart magazine is epic looking.
It's true, yes.
Not great magazines. They have issues feeding.
Makes
But,
sense. I think my cousin had.
Chris, that's a
similar one.
Nerf Blaster scooter.
What?
It's just a scooter with a Nerf Blaster attached to it.
That is
Again,
why.
almost cool.
Yeah.
But then they go and ruin it by just throwing cartoony crap. It's just it's such a that's the one I was talking about, the scar, right?
You're probably gonna have to cut a lot of this out. No, okay.
No, I just want everyone to know that Kris has now seen the scar, the Nerf blaster. It's probably up. I'm going to show all the ones that I said were almost cool because I want you to see that they have this element that's almost, you're like, oh, I'd actually. Oh, no, it just looks rubbish.
It's like it's almost cool because if it was slightly more realistic, it would be, but it's not because it's.
And then I said you run into the whole issue of having the fucking.
Throw up one of the Dungeons and Dragons ones, just to show how bad they are.
I'll throw up all of them, all 3 of them. I'm just gonna that we saw. Maybe we saw 4 of them. I don't know. I'm trying to repress them as I speak.
That's fair. Fair.
But yeah, I'm just like, oh, Nerf guns used to be cool.
Yeah.
And now to get one of the cool ones, you're paying through your fucking teeth.
Oh yeah.
And if you want that sweet needler, $200.
Oh god, no.
But it's sweet.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Like, you'd put that on a shelf and people wouldn't even be like, oh, that's a Nerf gun. They'd just be like, holy shit, when did you buy a needler?
Well, it's the same sort of price as if you were to get a collectible.
I'm pretty sure the collectible needler is actually, like, massive. Like, it's, like, this fucking big.
No, but if they actually made one of that size, it'd probably still be around that price.
I'm fairly sure, like, years ago, like, for Halo 5 or something, they actually made, like, 2-scale needler models that you could buy for, like, a grand. And, like, when people picked them up, it was like, holy, like, you could hold it in your hand just. And it's like, yeah, don't forget, these things look big in the Master Chief's hands, and he's almost 8 foot tall.
Oh yeah, it's not small.
And the big guys running around with these, they're like 9 foot tall. These things are fucking beefy.
Oh yeah,
You're like, oh, they are beefy.
Because there was another gun that they brought out.
The Lancer.
Was the Lancer?
There were the Gears of War Lancers that they.
No. I was talking about like one of the Halo games came out, and it was the collectibles. You could buy it, and it was the first time I'd seen them do a thing where it's like, here's the collector's edition. Buy it, and then buy the game. Like you get the game with it, but you get to choose whether you want Xbox or PlayStation.
Well, that definitely wasn't Halo.
Yes. What was it? That is a good point. I didn't think about that before I spoke. I can't remember.
Destiny?
No, it wasn't Destiny.
Because I know you could buy the Galahorn edition, and then they just put in the game.
No, the Galahorn you actually bought separately.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
I know there was something like that though, where you got this. You got the special edition. Might have been like a Call of Duty.
Well, actually, no. It probably actually was the Halo one, but you didn't. They didn't put the game with it. You could buy it as an edition, get the game slightly cheaper, or you could buy it separately. You just didn't get the game.
Okay, I know they did.
That might have been what it is. Then there was another thing that came out. I can't remember what it was. Actually, no, what it was the Darksiders 3.
Okay.
You bought Darksiders 3 as an edition. You just then chose which console it came with. Which console's game it came with. Because they figured out that if they do it that way, they're gonna get this. They're gonna actually sell them. Whereas if you go the other way, everyone's gonna be like, "Well, I don't have an Xbox, so I don't really want that one."
Yeah, it makes sense. Although, talking about Gears of War, because the Gears of War one comes to mind.
Yeah.
I think Gears of War 3 was the big one for me, where it was like, here's the special edition, and then they were like, oh, and here's all the collectible stuff that's not bundled with the game. Like, you just go out and buy this, and that's where you could get like your model Lancers, like to scale model Lancers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And when I went to get my copy of Gears of War 3 limited edition, sitting up on the shelf behind me, love that thing. One of the guys at EB Games had bought himself one of the Lancers, like the old school ones, and we went to the midnight release. It was the only midnight release I'd ever gone to. And he just let everyone get pictures with this Lancer, and this thing was fucking huge. Okay. Like, I'm kidding you not. You like had to get it like this to hold it, like arm up. Fucking end of thing, and you're like holding this thing that's like this long, just the gun, and then like with this long at the front of it as the bayonet. Jeez, okay. And you're just like, this thing's fucking massive.
Oh yeah,
Like, that's the scale size. That's how big these things are in the actual game. Yeah. Like, that's why everyone has fucking arms this fucking thick.
Yes.
Because they're just like, just one on this one, baby.
That's to one on that. Holy shit.
No, I loved that kind of era of stuff.
Yeah, no, it was good.
And now I kind of hate the era we're in, where it's like, hey, you want a limited edition? It comes with a soundtrack, a book. Do you want a book?
See, the only one I've got,
and some really cheap tat. Like, as you can see behind me, I have a bunch of Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
I have Halo. I have the Darksiders, and I'm happy with those ones. But I've seen some of the like limited editions now, and for the price I was paying for those, now you get the game and some digital art.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And you're just like, the fuck?
So I get digital.
Where's my
art.
well-made vinyl model?
I get the digital art if you buy the deluxe edition on a console. If you buy it in a store, though, no, don't give me digital art.
I think
to be honest, I don't even install the digital art because I don't care about it.
True, I have.
It's just because there's
I have a lot of games that have the digital art because they're always in the deluxe edition.
Yeah.
And on my PlayStation, it's like, hey, do you want to install the digital art? And it's like, no, go away.
So I think the last like Assassin's Creed one I got, I think it might have been the Origins one, and it came with like a coin. It came with a book that had art in it. And
I don't. Don't get me wrong. I like the concept art books you get.
Oh yeah, no, I like those.
They look cool, but what I dislike is like, here's a novel on the story. And it's like, no, it's for the extended, and it's like,
I don't care.
I literally just bought a video game. You think I'm gonna read?
Oh.
If I've got time to waste, I'm going to be playing my brand new video game.
Exactly.
Not reading this book.
Let's face it. Just put the story in the game.
That's an idea. That's an idea.
Don't give me the crap of having to do it any other way.
That's a pretty good idea.
That's the only downside to like a lot of your Dark Souls games. Because technically most of the information is in the game. But there are so many side stories. It's ridiculous. And if you do one thing wrong, that side story ends.
Yeah, but it's also like a lot of the fucking story of Dark Souls is hidden in item descriptions. Go to hell.
Yeah, I'm not reading them.
I'm not... Hi, I picked up this rusty old thing. Oh, this rusty old amulet once belonged to... No. That's not how stories actually are told in the real world. And you don't go into like a thrift shop and pick up something and be like, oh wow, this once belonged to an ancient. No, you go like, that's shit.
The other thing is, I shouldn't have to look up a walkthrough to follow someone's storyline.
Well,
but the thing is, what
Kris
can happen?
is not accounting for dumbness.
Yes, but the thing about it is, as you're going through, if you accidentally summon one character at one particular boss fight, you end a storyline because you did something with them. It's like, hang on, what?
I like the fact that you just ignored the fact that I pretty much said the only reason you have to look up a walkthrough is because you're dumb.
I'm well aware of what you said. I don't look up the walkthroughs because I don't do them. I do not care enough to go, I need to do this person's storyline. The only time I actually
let's
do
face
that
it, that's pretty much created its own YouTube industry of people explaining Dark Souls to other people.
It is true.
And FromSoft games in general. Here's what's actually going on in the story you've just been playing, because we know you didn't give a fuck about doing it yourself.
Oh, hell
no. Yeah. Look, as I said, I miss the days when you got given a very heavy piece of plastic tack for much money.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of like my love-hate relationship with DLC, where it's like, I miss DLC now because I now realize just how predatory the current systems are, where it's like back in the day it's like, oh man, you're pretty much paying double the price of the game, but that was it. And now it's like, oh man, you're pretty much paying double the price of the game every 3 months. Please hurry up now, give us your money.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you want more? Oh, we'll give you more. Trust us. We want your money.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same with the plastic tat. Like, before I started getting the collector's editions, I didn't want them. I was like, why do I want this? Why would I want it? Only collector's edition that I'm really sad I missed out on was the Halo 3 collector's edition.
Yeah.
I love myself a little Master Chief helmet.
Oh, it would have been nice, yeah.
Way cooler than the fucking Titanfall helmet. If you have the Titanfall helmet, you might as well just throw it away. And if you spent a lot of money buying the Titanfall helmet, well, that's probably why you have no friends.
I only know one person who's got the Titanfall helmet.
And they have no friends.
Look, I'm not gonna... yeah. It's a thing.
No, yeah, but the that's the only one I've ever been like, oh man, I really wish I had that one. But yeah, there's a few things I look at and I go like, oh, I really want that. Like, my whole kind of collection has switched from like that to I want to collect special controllers.
But yeah, that's nice.
So I want to get
steel like cases.
I don't mind the steel cases, but I prefer the special controllers because, like, ideally one day I'd love to just have a wall of the controllers.
Oh yeah, it'd be nice.
So I really want to get the new Breath of the Tears of the Kingdom Pro controller for the Switch.
Yeah.
Even though I don't really like the game, I haven't played it to be fair, so I don't know if I don't like it. But I know I'm not going to be the biggest fan of it.
No,
because all of the talk about it is like, hey, remember this one aspect from the last game? And I'm like, yeah, that's the part I hate the most. They've doubled down on it.
I hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a common thing with them though.
But like, yeah, no. So I kind of like I've switched my collecting to like I'm like I just want to have controllers because they're functional and they look sweet.
And then you could literally have the wall of like you've got someone come over. It's like choose a controller.
They're all not charged.
Exactly.
No, the other one I love is that so when I started getting the collectors, I was very selective about which ones I got.
Oh yeah, so was I.
But yeah, the only one I was ever really sad about is that Halo one because I knew a few people who had it, and I was just like, oh, that's sweet.
The one collection that I didn't.
And I want to be Green Fanboy.
The one I didn't get and I actually wanted was the one. It wasn't actually a collector's edition. But it was a collector's thing for when Dark Souls 3 came out.
The 3.
The one that actually came with Death and War. And I'm like, that would have been sweet. The downside is it was $750 to get the 3 statues. I'm like,
but it's an investment.
Well, yes.
No, it's not.
But I'm like, I really wanted the Death and War. So if they had sold them separately, I probably would have spent some money on the 2 of them. I was getting the collector's edition.
But yeah, like as I said, like my whole thing with those is that they're now in this love-hate thing with me where I'm just like, I miss them. Not because I thought they were great.
Oh yeah.
But because what you're paying for now, often the same price, is so much worse.
Oh yeah, it was so much better back then. It's ridiculous. And a lot of the collectibles, the collector's editions, well, they were limited. Some of them even like were limited enough. It's like the Mortal Kombat 10. They only made 1,000.
Yeah.
So you got a metal card with it that had your number on it as to which one you got.
And that made you feel special.
It does make you feel special. You know what would have made me feel even more special? If it was one of the first 10 or the last 10. That would have been nicer.
But I got like Kris is fucking average.
Yeah, I got about 600 and something.
Pretty average.
It's pretty average.
No, but yeah, there's that. You know, those first 10 probably never left the company.
Oh, 100%. The last 5 wouldn't have left either.
Probably.
I imagine. So as I said, if you had one of the first 10 or the last 10, you worked at the company. That's all it was. You worked for them.
Yes. Okay, Kris. Here we go. I'm bringing out the book. I'm just having a look.
Okay.
Okay. So, if you're a long-time watcher of the podcast, which you could be now,
possibly.
That's a possibility. We've done like almost 50 of these. We've almost been going for a year.
Oh shit, we have.
Which means you could be a long-time watcher.
Yes.
You've probably seen Kris grow, but his face is still smug. If you're a long-time watcher, you know me and Kris complain a lot about games.
Yes.
Specifically games that we play a lot of and we hate.
Yes.
And you say, why do you play a lot of these games if you hate them? And the truth is, because we're lazy.
Yeah.
You'll also hear a few of the
Legit.
games that we do like. Like
Yes.
me and Halo. I love Halo.
Yes.
Except Halo 5. Don't come at me with Halo 5. I don't want to play with you Halo 5.
Fair. Even though you did briefly.
Throw you off a bridge. Well, I had to finish the story.
Well, of course.
And then I finished the story and it's like, hey, guess what? Irrelevant. We're just going to pretend that never happened.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah.
But I thought we'd do something a little bit different, and I thought we'd talk about games that we do like,
Okay, yeah.
Chris. Specifically, genres of games that we like.
Ooh.
So, like, I'll get us started. I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Sports games.
Okay.
We've been through this before. I buy most of them,
You do.
even though they don't change. And I play most of them.
Well, the controls, for some of them, get a little better.
Not NBA.
No.
That tends to get worse.
Yeah, I've heard.
Every time a new NBA game comes out, the first thing is like, why is the shooting in this worse than the last game?
How many... Like, I've never played too much sports
It's been on a
games.
downward spiral since 2014.
I've never played a lot of sports games. Again, mainly because of the controls.
That actually
Like,
means this year, when 2024 comes out, it'll be 10 years since people started complaining that the controls are getting worse.
and they're probably still getting worse. And that's... And the thing is, the next thing is...
It's
is
a hard one to figure out, though, isn't it? That's what you're
It-
trying to
it
get your
is.
head around, because you're going, it's the same game. It's the same mechanic.
No.
They haven't
no.
changed the rules of basketball. How have they changed the mechanics of the
No,
game to
that's
make it
that's
worse?
not what I'm finding difficult to wrap
It's just
my
a
head around.
reskin.
I can understand that, yes, it's getting worse, but what I'm thinking is, like, is it actually getting worse, or is gaming getting so much better that we're just expecting it to move along with it, but it's not actually getting better?
I think it's a tweaking system, right?
Okay.
Because you tweak... Most of the sports games have what we call several levels.
Yes.
Entry-level casual noobs who play one game with their mates. The dedicated players of just that game.
Yeah.
The people who are good at that game. And then the people who fucking rule at that game.
Yes.
And so that it's accessible for all of those levels, they add a lot of minutiae in. Right?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And I think in doing those tweakings to make it more competitive on the higher end, yet easy on the lower end, means that for most people who fall into the middle, it changes things like timing, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is in a game like NBA or a game like Crash Bandicoot. You fuck up the timing of button releases, you fuck up the game.
Oh, yeah.
So I think a lot of the complaints come from the fact that it's like after you've spent 12 months getting used to the last game's controls, the new one comes out and its controls are tweaked just enough that all of your timing's off.
Yeah.
And so for the first 3 months, everyone's just complaining that its shooting sucks and this and that because they've now got to get used to it again.
And I mean, the same thing happened with a lot of you. I bet you were waiting for this one. Same thing happens with a lot of FromSoft games. You go from one Dark Souls games to the next, and timing's all different again because they got better and then better. So when you go back, you're like, holy shit, this is bad.
But what if you go back to a remastered game that came out after the third game?
Then it's generally better than the third game.
That's okay. See, I like when they do that, when they take their remasters and fix it. What I hate is when they take a remaster and just go, hey, we made it look nicer. And you go, holy shit, it plays like a game from the 2000s.
Exactly. No,
No one wants that.
don't get me wrong, I never actually played the first Dark Souls.
Oh, okay.
Because I never bought it. I didn't really get into Dark Souls until they brought out the Dark Souls 2's
Expansion.
Scholar of something edition.
Scroll of the first sin.
Yes. Until I got that one. That's the first Dark Souls game I played.
I know words.
Um,
And specific order.
thankfully, I didn't get the easiest trophy first,
Right.
which was die for the first time.
Yeah, so anyway, so for me, a big one, a big genre that I love is sports games.
Yeah.
Just because they're easy. They're generally easy.
Yeah.
They generally got some kind of level of fun to just play a few rounds.
Yeah.
And year to year, you kind of know what you're getting.
Yeah.
I may not be the biggest fan of them, but generally I'm pretty happy with my sports games.
Yes.
So they're like one of my big genres that I play a lot of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Then you've got technically yes, sports game, but also no sports game. Racing games. I love racing games.
Yes.
For a time. Like, I've loved to jump in and play a heap of racing game for like one day, and then I'll probably leave it for a month.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
That's kind of the beauty of the sports and the racing games for me, is that I can come in and play them non-stop for a couple of days, and then leave them for a month, and come back and the controls are just so the same that you jump in, you know exactly what you're doing. There's no relearning period. You're just straight in.
Yeah.
Which you can't do with a lot of other games. The Witcher 3 springs to mind.
Yeah, because a lot of those games are heavily story based. You sort of got to pay attention.
They're heavily story based, and the controls are individual for things. Like, I dread when I start playing the Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Yes.
Because I just know there's going to be a whole heap of mechanics that I am not going to remember how to do once the tutorial for how to do them has popped up on the screen. I've read it. I'll go, that makes sense. Then I'll put it down for about 8 weeks. I'll come back and I'll be like, I have no idea what any of this is.
I think there's going to be less than you think there is.
And then someone's going to be like, oh, but you can read a tutorial. I'm going to be like, I ain't got time for that. No. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just start again.
See, I don't go through and start those again. That is something I just go back a bit into a slightly easier spot and figure it out.
I'm in level with you. I never finished Final Fantasy 15. I got up to the final chapter where you just got to fight all the demons.
Oh, when you get thrown forward in time and it's just nothing but the demons.
You're on the boat.
Which is the only place you can find the wall demon.
You can't, yes.
So if you want to fight the wall demon, do it there. You do not have another place that I've ever seen.
Isn't the wall demon just the demon that's on the wall?
Yeah. Shows up only there.
I fought like 10 of those.
I've never fought one.
They're just in tunnels, man.
I've been in many tunnels. I've never fought one.
There's heaps of them, though, in that final section.
Oh, in the final section, yes. But I mean before that...
I'm pretty sure I came across one beforehand.
I've never come across... The only place I've ever come across it is there.
Right. What's good about fighting them?
Just if you want to fight everyone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I got to the part where he comes back, everyone's kind of doing their own thing. You're back on the beach and you pretty much got to get...
Because you disappeared for like 20 years.
Something like that. And you've got to get there and you've just got the power and it's just like the ring is just OP. You're just bow, bow.
No.
I got to there and I was like, I was having good fun at this point, and I was like, yeah. And then I stopped. And I've never picked up Final Fantasy 15 again because I'm like,
I
gotta take it back to the start. I'm like, I have no idea what the controls are anymore.
That's the fun thing for me because like I didn't completely finish the game. So there's 2 things that I have left that I actually do want to do, which is finish all the dungeons. Mm-hmm. I have 3 left.
Right.
They are the 3 longest. They will take me a minimum of 2 to 3 hours each.
Right.
They're long as hell. Like, you know how you can't actually save in dungeons?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't save in dungeons. In the last 4 or 5, they put campfires in there.
Oh, interesting.
So you can save.
Yeah. So that's why I love like racing and sports games, because I know I can leave them for 6 months, come back, and the controls are so straightforward. I'm not going to have to relearn them.
Well, even first-person shooters, same sort of thing.
First-person shooters are the same sort of thing. That's why I play so much Call of Duty, even though I hate it.
It's
another genre that I love, like another game I love, is Minecraft. But in levels. I don't really play vanilla Minecraft because whilst I am quite creative, I'm also easily bored.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So I will start doing something, and then after about 2 hours of doing it, I'm just like, no.
Yep.
But I do love playing Minecraft. It's been a while since I played vanilla Minecraft, like, properly.
Yep.
Last time I did was in one of our friends' servers, and...
He was a menace.
Look, hey,
I wasn't in the server, but from what I've heard, he's a menace.
Hasn't buried zombies around their friends' places so they can't sleep?
Well, You don't just bury them around there. You put a spawner in there.
I know, because it wasn't creative.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I was pretty much just running around, burying stuff, and then they kept trying to kill me. And then they told me to make a house, so I put 2 doors between a tree.
Between 2 trees?
Between 3, technically.
Oh, that was still 2.
3.
Yeah, I'm aware of what you did.
3 trees.
Yes, 3.
But yeah, so yeah.
And you just built it down.
Well, I didn't build down until later, but
Yeah.
I literally just put 2 doors between trees, and I was like, I built my house, and they're like, how did you do that? So, and then they looked, and I was just like, I also have a tree. Well, one of the people on the server like spent ages like building this giant tree to have a tree house in.
Yeah.
I'm like, I also have a tree house, and then they just looked at it like, it's just 2 doors. I'm like, exactly.
And it's between 2 trees, and you can't say that I'm wrong.
And they were like, what are you going to do now? And I'm like, I don't know. Has anyone seen a desert? And they never questioned why I wanted a desert. Which you would think long-time players of Minecraft would know why I wanted a desert.
You would think so, but I think a lot of them were just doing it to screw around, so they may not have paid attention to
And
that.
I went, where's a desert? And I went, we visited one. It was 1,000 blocks away. And so I was like, okay. Fair enough.
That's fine.
So I just started traveling in a direction. I just chose a direction and went 1,000 blocks.
Yep.
And there was no desert. And I went, well, this is a bunch of... This hasn't played out. So I just kept going and going and going. And then so I was like, Darcy, where are you? I'm like, 30,000 blocks away. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in a snow village. I've stolen everything they have. I just kept going. And then I came back. I'm pretty sure I died. And I just respawned. And they're like, where have you been? I'm like, I died.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay. I'm like, does anyone know where a desert is? And they're like, there might be one this way. I'm like, I'm not going that way. I think they went, if you go this direction, 10,000 blocks. I'm not doing that again.
No.
That's ridiculous. What do you think I was doing for the last 2 hours? Just going in a straight line. I'm like, I'm not doing that again. I'll use the nether. And then I ended up becoming like the master of the nether. Because I just made this nether superhighway. Which stopped at so many places. Like, people were like, we need a village. I'm like, I'm at a village. And they're like, wait, how did you get to a village? I'm like, nether superhighway. And they came down and they're just like, that is a nether super because it's just giant.
Yep.
So anyway, I ended up spending so much time in the nether. I taught them the power of fishing in Minecraft. Because that's where you get the best stuff from.
But they didn't know that.
No. Like, literally, they all went and killed the ender dragon. I'm like, man, how are we going to get all of this experience? I'm like, fishing. Like, what? We start. So literally, while I'm just running around the end trying to find someone who's lost, they're, because apparently I was the one to be sent in.
Oh, that's right, getting Ben.
Yeah. I was the one who went to fight the ender dragon. They're like, are you ready? I'm like, I've got a fishing rod in a bucket. And they're like, what? Mind you, we were already at the end.
Yep.
So they're like, fuck. I'm like, don't worry, I got a fishing rod.
Got a fishing rod in a bucket. Let's go.
Like, Darcy, put on your armor. I don't have any of that. Got a bucket.
And a fishing rod.
Yeah, so that was pretty funny. I love fucking around in Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with people who are playing more serious. Because I don't play vanilla Minecraft seriously.
No, like Nick and I at one point we chucked it in creative mode and then just had a fight over water and lava.
Nice.
In which case, we hit the upper limit of the world.
Right.
Of just being me putting water down, him going no lava, and then water, and then it just kept going up. So there was this massive. It would have been about 60 blocks wide, I want to say.
So
of just a water and lava, and you went inside, and there was sections of just lava, sections of water.
in another world,
It was ridiculous.
in another vanilla world that I played in many years ago, back when I was in college, we kind of broke into factions.
Okay.
Because there were so many of us in this one world.
Yeah.
And like the factions, we all worked together to build these massive bases.
Yeah.
One day I got back to my base and it was just a crater. And I was like, Will, what happened to the base? And he's like, well, I got back, I logged on, and I went to the castle, and I looked at it, and there was just a pressure plate on the ground. He goes, so I thought you had done it, so I stepped on it, and nothing happened. So I stepped off it, and then all the TNT that Aaron and Brendan had put under the castle exploded. And I was like, well, that's just... I'm like, I can't stand for that.
No.
So I went to Brendan and Aaron's place and dug into their walls and just started filling their walls with lava. And then, because you know how lava kind of drips and you can see the drips coming through?
Yeah.
One of them's like, what the fuck is that? And then just their entire place caught on fire.
That's pretty good.
So, yeah, I'm a bit of a menace. But, yeah, so I pretty much made the Nether superhighway, which was, like, it was the best way to travel the world because it went everywhere. People were like, we need a village. I got one of those. We need this. I'm already there. Where does this portal go to? Do not go out that portal. It's the middle of the ocean. So pretty much that was all. And I didn't find my desert.
Jesus Christ.
And then one of them was like, oh, well, maybe if you go this way, you'll find a desert. So we went like to another portal that they'd made many sessions earlier. I went out and it's in a desert. And I'm just like, well, fuck.
That would have been easier before.
And then I made so much TNT and hid it in my treehouse.
Oh, I did hear about that.
And they're just like, wait, what? You wanted TNT? I'm like, yes. What? You're not allowed to have it. No, it's just mine. I'm just going to hold it. So I hid it from them, so they couldn't find it.
With your hidden room in your treehouse?
My whole house is hidden in my treehouse.
Well, it was true, because it went down, and there was one wall that you had hidden behind a photo.
the sign. You're not allowed to be here.
There was like 3 signs.
Well, yeah, but each one gets more aggressive as you go further down, because you're not paying attention. Yeah, no, so once you go down there, then there's the rest of my house, which is very large and spreading.
Oh, yes, it was.
And I'm pretty sure someone hit a zombie in my walls. Fucking uncouth bastards.
I do remember hearing that when you showed me it.
Yeah, in there's another hidden room that has a hidden room that has somewhere in the floor is hidden a chest with full of TNT.
Okay.
I have enough to end that entire plantation.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, so that's the whole reason I wanted a desert, because I was just like, I want a desert. But yeah, I love Minecraft.
Oh, it is fun. It is fun. I can't play hours on the end with it, but it is fun.
It's good. It's a good game.
Yeah. I think there was one.
It kind of hits that niche that like everyone's looking for, where it's like a game where you can do anything you want to do.
Yeah.
I don't believe that is Minecraft. Like Minecraft has like 5 things you can do.
It is true. Yes.
You can build.
Yeah.
You can mine.
Yeah.
You can explore.
Yes.
You can fish.
Yeah.
Or you can farm.
Yeah.
You can't do a great deal else in Minecraft.
But you can fight.
That's in that exploring.
Yeah, true, yeah. So we should call it adventuring.
But yeah, so like Minecraft kind of gives you those 5 options, but it's very good at how it delivers those 5 options.
Oh yeah.
I don't think other than like the farming games like Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing.
I honestly can't get into a lot of those.
Yeah, but like other than those, I think other than those specific games where it's like the whole game is pretty much farming.
Yeah.
Minecraft has some tight farming where people just get way too into it.
Yes.
I love Stardew Valley as well, if I'm being honest. But like the genre of games that like, you know how people say like, oh, it's a game where you can do anything you want. I really think there's only one game that I know of that is actually lets you do anything you want.
Okay.
Okay, I want you to have a guess. What do you think it is?
Do anything you want. I actually don't think of anything. I would do anything, man.
Grand Theft Auto Online.
I wouldn't say anything. I can't do the mining.
Let me run through the things that you can do in Grand Theft Auto Online.
Yes.
You can be a criminal.
Well, yes.
Of varying levels.
Yes.
You can be a real estate mogul.
Yeah.
You can be a rich toff living on a super yacht.
Yep.
You can become a scuba diving enthusiast.
Yes.
You
We
can...
did that for a while.
You can become a taxi driver earning minimum wage.
Yes, you can.
You can become a car modifier.
Yeah.
You can become a bodyguard.
Yeah.
You can become a 70-year-old woman who spends her life in a casino.
Yes.
You can become a tattoo enthusiast.
Yeah.
You can become a beach bum.
Indeed.
You can become an avenging angel who goes and murders nude men.
Yeah.
They live up in the mountains. You can become a pirate.
Yes.
You can become a race car driver.
Also true, yes.
Lots of options.
There are a lot of options, yes.
There's a lot of options out there for it. And it's like, you know, the game may not be built to have hugely fun gameplay sections around this. However, as I said, if you want to role play in as a thing, I think GTA Online is probably the closest you can get to role playing any kind of life you want. You can literally go into Grand Theft Auto and follow the rules.
Be an upstanding citizen. But screw that.
I think the only thing I have not seen you able to do in Grand Theft Auto Online is pay taxes. But I'm sure that Rockstar will get onto that. You can pay your bills, but you can't pay taxes.
But it's all set up direct debit, so you don't have to even do anything.
Exactly. And I think the only reason they did that, because if they made it a gameplay thing where you had to physically pay your bills, a lot of people would be skipping paying their bills, eh? I know I wouldn't.
It'd go along with the crime thing.
I love that about Grand Theft Auto Online. They spend millions of dollars on this new thing. Awesome. Now that you've done that, every 2 hours you play, we're going to take money. We're going to take some more of your money.
That's pretty much it, yeah. So if you never do anything except drive around, you will lose all of your money.
No, only if you've bought properties.
It's true, but generally you do.
Yeah, but if you don't, if all you do is drive around,
then you'll be fine.
You're probably going to end up the richest person ever because they're not taking your money.
That is true. Yeah.
No.
Because you
also you can now with the new update, you can also have your own personal army. So, on that.
Well, there you go. That's
Grand
pretty
Theft Auto Online.
We know I'm not going to get my own personal army.
Let you do whatever you want. Oh, you can also become a CEO.
Yes.
Of a company.
See, my thing is, I tend to just get enough money. I'm like, hey, nice, awesome car, and then I don't have the money anymore. And
So,
then
unlike
everyone's
me.
like, why don't you have this? I have it, and these companies. It's like, yes, because I never got those companies. If I did, I'd be fine.
I just own the properties because the properties are technically the best way to make money.
No, I just make him pay me.
Yeah. But you get 5,000 for
You
being...
can go up to 10.
Okay, you can get up to 10 for being my bodyguard.
Yeah.
I
don't even have to be a good, but well, no. To get the 10, I've got to be a good bodyguard.
I just made $400,000 with the newest update because I own it, Avenger.
Oh.
And I can just keep doing that and doing that.
Oh. That's pretty good.
They've kind of made it a bit easier to make money. Mind you,
Okay.
because it's easy to make money, we're getting the same thing they got when the island heist came out. I can never remember the name of the island. But where it's new car, 10 million straight away. Where it used to be the high-end cars were 1 million.
1 to 2.
Well, now that you could easily get 1 to 2 million in a couple of hours of play, it's new car, 6 million.
Yeah, I've only been able to get money.
Although, as I said, it's
doing stuff with you.
It's much easier to make money now than it used to be, where it's hey, you got to do the heist, and the heist was so long and hard.
Actually, my PlayStation account has a lot of money on it.
And then you'd get to the end of the heist,
Yeah.
and be oh, you made $1 million split 4 ways. And you're all of that effort, all of that time, and each of us got 250,000.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So, last time I played on the PlayStation, we were playing with someone who did a lot of, they'd hack into it, so they would basically
Cheat.
Yes, they would cheat, and then we would do a mission, and then all of a sudden we'd finish the mission, and because they were getting a shit ton of money, they would just go, okay, everyone in this, well, you can have 2 million, you can have 2 million. And they'll just split it off that way, and all of a sudden you'd have 2 million. Like, I'm going to keep doing missions with this guy for a little while.
You want to be careful, though, because there's a reason he's doing that.
Yeah.
He's making you part of his crime.
It is true. However, when they did actually get on top of it, I should have technically only had about 200, maybe 300,000. They took money off me. Don't get me wrong, they did, because it technically came from that. And they could technically see that I was being given the money. I wasn't just being...
Well, that's probably the other reason he gave it, because that way his account wouldn't just suddenly start ballooning.
Yes, that is it.
By spreading it out.
Because all you need you could also give it to way to just people in the lobby. So you'd come out of like something that gave him like 100 million, and you just start spreading it through the lobby, and it's like, whatever. Yeah. And we were in there for a while, so we got bank on that one, and they only dropped me down to, I think they dropped me down to like 20 million, but I should have had like 400, 500,000 at most.
Right. Yeah, no.
So I didn't
but yeah, so, you know, GTA Online, however you think about it, I think it is one of the few games out there that does give you those opportunities to play it however you want.
Yeah.
It's not thrilling gameplay however you want, but, you know, if you're like my little sister, you just jump on my online account and be an upstanding citizen and repair all the cars you steal and waste all of my money.
Yeah.
All of my money. So, yeah. My character on Grand Theft Auto Online is actually my little sister's character that I made for her when I first went away for uni.
Yes.
Because she liked to play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
And my character, who I didn't play for like 6 months because I was at uni, and then I came back and I was like, cool, I should have something like $5 million. $100,000. Why? Why, Kris? Because she just spent it all on her character. So I just became her character.
Okay.
I went, okay, she's got these cars, she's got this, my character has fuck all, and I'm not rebuilding this anymore.
Wait, so she used the money from your character on hers?
It's shared between the two characters on the same account.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The money is shared, the properties are assigned to the individual characters, and the vehicles are assigned to the individual characters.
Oh, that's rough.
So my character had nothing, and hers had expensive apartments.
Oh, no.
Expensive cars, and what she hadn't spent on expensive cars and expensive apartments had been spent on repairing cars that she had stolen and crashed and gone, I like this car. And I was like...
And then just dropped it somewhere I saw on the side of the street and got it into another one?
No, she would take it to a repair shop and fix it for thousands of dollars.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And then drive it around and then go, oh no, I like that car better, and get out of it.
Yep, and then just leave it on the side of the street, so it's not assigned to any garage.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd just be gone.
Yep. Thousands of dollars wasted.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And that happened for about 6 months, and I got back and I was just like, okay, so I guess I'm making your character my main character.
Yep.
And that is the story of why I play GTA Online as a girl.
Okay, fair enough.
Because my other character is a blonde dude. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, I would have never guessed.
And yeah, after the kick in the teeth that was that starting situation, I was just like, well, I guess I'm never using you, my friend. Especially considering like that was before the heist came out.
Oh,
So I had done that by racing.
Oh, that takes ages. And I wasn't
doing it again.
I did a lot of racing, but a different reason. I had to get a car up to a certain point so that I could get... I think I had to do 100 races and win to be able to get the best engine.
Right. As I said, when it comes to those big open worlds, GTA Online, I think for me, is probably the freest of the open worlds.
Yes.
The one that allows you to do the most whatever you want to do.
Yes, I agree with that. Especially when we just had a whole little mini game of someone in the submarine controlling a missile.
Yes, indeed.
The first one to get hit, lost. You know, that was good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as I said, like, I know we sit here and we talk about games that we hate all the time.
We occasionally talk about stuff we like.
And then we often talk about games that we like, but in a negative manner. Because we're trying to show why some games that are considered really, really good by the gaming thing aren't as good as everyone considers them, because we leave out this whole big the flaw that every game has. And like, you know, one of the things that I hate is when someone says, "Oh, this game is flawed, look how flawed it is, but this game is great." And it's like, well, no, that game is also flawed. It's just you like that game.
Most games are.
Exactly.
Especially these days.
Most games are flawed. But, you know, it's just kind of like, you know, I
doesn't mean we can't like it.
I like to talk negatively about games that are considered great, because every game has its downsides.
Yeah.
And I often like to defend games that people think are bad, because...
Yeah.
Sometimes the
flaws make a game more fun.
Exactly.
But everyone just hears about the flaw and is like, "Oh, I'm not going to play it." So, no, seriously, play those games. They're fun.
Yeah. As long as you're having fun with the game, you should play it.
That's it.
And so you know, I just wanted to kind of put out there that there are games that we like that we don't talk about, and it's just because we have no reason to talk about them.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing and the biggest takeaway is that even games that we love, we acknowledge are flawed. Because every game is flawed. No game is perfect.
No.
And then there's just games out there that are so hard to see the good side of. Like Fortnite. Like Call of Duty.
And that's the thing. That is our opinion on it.
It is just our opinion.
To your own opinion.
But
we're just going to tell you ours.
Yeah. And it's you know, it's good every now and then to stop and think about the good elements, the stuff that we like, why we like it, and not just focus on that negative side.
Yeah.
And like, you know, even last time, like, we were using Halo and comparing it to God of War, not because we hate either of those games. In fact, I love both of those games. Yeah. But they're great in two very different ways.
Yes.
And a lot of people do compare them, because they compare Microsoft to Sony. And I think by comparing God of War to Halo, we give ourselves that kind of why you can't compare them, because they're not aimed at the same people.
Oh, hell
no. No one is sitting there being like, "Oh, you know God of War, that."
Yeah. As much as I can pick up
fast-paced first-person shooter,
both of them, because I don't have one specific favorite genre. It very much depends on when you ask me. At certain times, a long story-based game where I have to sit there and pay attention to the entire thing will be my favorite. But you ask me 6 months down the track, and it'll be, no, I can't really play them at the moment. I can't focus long enough. So I prefer something fast-paced.
ADHD.
Yes. so kind of, as much as I've never been diagnosed with it, but I literally just can't focus on certain things long enough. So stuff like a round of Mario Kart or a round of COD, even though we bags, so we give COD so much shit and we don't like it. It's the only thing I can.
It's quick and easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of like my thing. Like, there are games that I acknowledge are bad. COD.
Yeah.
DMZ, for example. There are parts of that game that I love, the campaign and the multiplayer.
Yep.
I still play DMZ. I don't play it as much as I play the multiplayer, and I don't even play that much. But that's mainly got to do with Activision's marketing.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's what I like. I like to play video games, and I think the big thing is, though, that I get really annoyed when people compare games that are differently to each other and be like, "Oh, this game's great. Oh, this game's not so great." And it's like, well, they're two different games. Yep. If I said to you, "Hey, I'm looking for a good old-fashioned first-person shooter, arena shooter, what game can I play?" And you said, "Play God of War. It's really good." Well, you haven't done me any favors, because I didn't ask for a story-based action-adventure game.
It's also why I don't like people, and I've had people come up to me, because I'm a very similar age to, let's say, their nephew or something like that, and they're like, "So what game should I get them?" It's like,
a game they will like.
What are they into? Like, I can't just say, yeah, go get them this, because they may hate that style of game. Like, and so I got asked the other day by one of the girls I work with. It's like, "Oh, what do I get a guy about your age for his birthday?" I'm like, well, that's not no.
So that's what you got to say.
What are they into?
What is their relation to you?
It was her boyfriend.
A blowjob.
But yeah, no, she just asked
Learning stuff.
She asked me that question, like, what are they into? Like, the thing is, it's your boyfriend, you should know that.
Yeah.
It's like, what are they into?
But no, seriously.
The moment she started talking about it, she's like, oh, I know he's been looking to get something to help record stuff that he plays on a console. So I'm like, so like an Elgato?
That's $300 dues.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm like, so an Elgato, and she's like, I think that might be it. And it's like, well, that's the only one I can think off the top of my head for.
There's quite a few things out there.
I know there's a few, but that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, that'd probably, if he's been looking for it and all that, yeah, that's probably something good to get him. Do whatever. But don't ever ask that question just as some random. Ever.
You can ask me. My first question will be, what is your relation? Because it's if they're your brother, I'm going to give you a different answer.
Oh, yeah.
But if it's your boyfriend, I'm generally going to give you the same answer.
Yes.
And
you've already heard that answer. So you don't need to ask him that one.
Advice. No, well, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something that annoys me. That, like, yeah, as I said, I don't like it when people compare two games that are completely different. Yeah. And say, like, one's brilliant and one's not. It's like, well, that's just your opinion, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're obviously someone who likes stories. If I was to ask a Call of Duty player who only plays Call of Duty, what's better, Call of Duty or God of War? They'd say Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Because that's what they like.
Whereas you talk to me and it's by far God of War.
You talk to me and I'll be like, have you heard of Halo?
Yes, he will indeed say that.
But no, yeah, so I you know, it's just these comparisons that people make, and you're like, well, you can't really compare them because they're not aimed at the same people.
No.
Yeah, but you know, me and Kris, we love video games. Yeah. Obviously, that's why we made this channel. Yes. But in a lot of the podcasts, we talk negatively about games that are good, and a lot of that comes from the side of like, we don't want people to forget that these games have their flaws. Because the second we start doing that, developers start taking their foot off the fucking accelerator. And they start providing you with shitter games because you're willing to overlook the shitness because you like one element.
Yeah. But the unfortunate thing
I can't stand
nowadays we're not going to get a game without flaws. There's nothing we can do about it anymore. But
look,
don't just overlook.
Hold up the classic example, Skyrim.
Yep.
And what's going to be a classic example? Starfield.
Yes. Once that comes out,
game's full of bugs. Game has a lot wrong. Game is still fun because you overlook it. And the truth is that if we, the consumers, start just completely overlooking things that suck in video games, then we're going to get worse video games. Except because we've done it to ourselves, we're going to have to keep smiling and taking it because we did it to ourselves.
Yeah.
So every now and then it's good to stop. Look at great games. Remember they have flaws, but just like that, it's also good to stop and remember why you love gaming. Which is kind of what me and Kris did today. Why we talked about the games that we like. Why we talked about the genres we liked. Why we talked about my fascination with spending large amounts of money on games that are fundamentally the same as they were last year. Just slightly different.
Yeah.
Not even really that different because they have this thing called live rosters. Yeah. Which means you get the new roster for the old game.
But yeah, that's the thing. It's like with I absolutely love the Darksiders series. Haven't finished the third one. It's still, don't get me wrong.
Kris likes Darksiders 2.
Darksiders 2. That was definitely my favorite of the lot. However, it does, if you get the definitive edition, it has a game-breaking flaw to it.
Do you know?
Which is certain combo done 3 times in a row crashes your game. It's
4.
Which meant I had to then rework my entire combat, the way I did combat, because I couldn't use that move anymore.
For me, the Darksiders games, because I got in on Darksiders 1. Like, I played that and I was just like, this game is great.
Oh, it is.
And people ask me like, oh, how would you describe it? And I've seen a lot of people describe it like, oh, it's like a Castlevania game, or it's like a Metroidvania type game. And I went, no. The way I have always described the original Darksiders game is Zelda. except ultra violent.
Yes. That.
You go into dungeons, you kill the boss, you get the new equipment, you go to the next dungeon, you kill the boss, you get the new... It's Zelda. Yeah. But instead of playing an ocarina, you punch a demon through the heart and rip out its heart. And then feed it to another demon.
Pretty much, yeah. That's actually a really good way to describe it. That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's the way I've always described it. But for some reason...
Which just makes it sound even better.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
It's metal. But yeah, no. Yeah, as I said, like, the whole thing is that me and Kris, we will talk bad about games. It's not that we hate those games.
We will tell you if we hate those games.
It's just that it's always good to remember that things could be done better. Because the second we stop asking for things to be done better... is the second we start accepting what we're getting.
Yeah.
And instead of the developers fixing it, they just take our money and run.
And you could really see that we do have a lot of power in that side of things.
Oh, yeah.
Especially seen with Cyberpunk. Because they literally had to do returns and everything like that, and it was that... to that point of, like, they had to get their ass in the gear to get that game working properly.
The same goes for No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
The consumer has a lot of power, so it's good to remember as a consumer we have to pay attention to what is bad in great things so that that doesn't become out of control.
And doesn't become the normal. And unfortunately...
And constantly pray that EA and Activision will become better eventually. Yes. But, you know, as I said, it is what it is sometimes. Yeah. And sometimes all you can do is complain about bad games and praise good games. But it's always good to remember that even the good games have bad parts.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's good to see a game through other people's eyes occasionally, and see why they like it, and hear their argument, because it might give you a little bit of a different perspective.
Yeah.
Oh well. In saying that, guys, as always, I'm fresh out of drink.
Yes.
And as far as I'm concerned, that means that this podcast has run its time. So, as always, thank you for joining us. If you liked, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. We do appreciate it. We love it. We love hearing from you guys, and you know, you make our day when you leave a comment and when you subscribe. Like, really exciting stuff.
Oh yeah.
Stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned, and we'll keep you updated on whether or not I finally get off my ass and do the Patreon shit. And
probably not gonna be anytime soon.
No. But until next time, guys, I've been Darcy. He's been Kris, and we'll catch you next time.
So,
catch you later, guys. Anyhow, shall we get started?
Yes.
Check your phone, making sure you got it on silent.
I do indeed have it on silent.
I have mine on Wi-Fi.
So is mine?
Yeah. I was just minding my own business, just chilling there, and I was just like, oh, gym time. Walked in, and Sam was just like, how you doing? Stab! And I was like, oh, I'm dying. And
like, Shane.
He was like, good.
Good. You missed a week.
You deserve it.
You probably didn't do anything last week. Stab.
You deserve it.
This is the pain you missed last week.
I mean, just when you deserve it, and I went, ah. You're killing me, Shane. He went, yes.
That is the intention. He didn't succeed.
But boy, did he give it the good old college try.
Oh, he did.
It's really confusing when he started hitting me with a baseball bat, but that was just so I'd feel it in my chest. Fuck.